I'm your cult boyfriend. My name is Zach. So let me make sure this is going okay. Hi, I'm your cult boyfriend. That's my beautiful voice and my beautiful face. It looks like it's working fine. Yeah. So this shouldn't be a terribly long stream today. I have a party to go to later. That's right. I am extremely popular and well liked, as we all know. And basically, this stream, I've been asked this question. I've been asked a couple questions quite a few times. Most notably, what are your 10 favorite films? And another question I get asked a lot more recently is like, what's going on with your health? Because I have shared a few of my health problems with you guys and very vaguely in videos. And then I've also done it in community notes, community posts, I guess, those sort of things. I think I'll talk about that first. I also have to talk about a book because I think I'm obligated to. I don't really fucking know how that works, but I think I'm supposed to. And I'll do it at the end of this video so that the publishers won't get mad at me, I guess. But so health problems. In some of my more recent videos, I talk about getting exhausted easily. In the community post, I think I talked about having Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis and major depressive disorder. And those are all things that I've had for a long time. And that's not even it. Like, I'm forgetting something because there are quite a few things wrong with me. Barrett's esophagus, that's the other one, which isn't a problem now, but could form into a terrible problem eventually. But so when I made that post, I had just had surgery done. My body kind of just stopped digesting food. It just stopped doing what it's supposed to do with food. And I don't know what they call it, like septic shock or something that sounds terribly frightening, and it truly kind of was, I suppose. They gave me surgery, and ugh, I have they took my small intestines and poked them out of my body, so now I wear an ostomy bag now, which is terrible for me. I mean, see that's my intestines, and I'm sorry, I should have given a squeamish alert, but yeah, that's my organ right there. I've had that for a few months, and the medications that they put me on immediately after, uh, for, like, you can look at videos in the past, and their medications for Crohn's disease and colitis and like digestive stuff. If you look at videos, and you'll see that my facial structure somewhat changes. Sometimes I'm more moon shaped, and other times there's more angular, more definition to my chin or to my face. Also, my skin conditions too, like it affects that as well. So like immediately after getting this surgery, there was there was a period of at least like 2 months. I maybe a month and a half, who knows, time just seemed to drag on forever, where I was on this like new medication, and it was completely kind of changing, or at least I thought it was changing the way I looked. Obviously the ostomy bag is completely changing the way I look. And I'm not like a terribly vain person, but I do like doing certain things, and like, this isn't forever. The ileostomy is what it's called. It's supposed to be reversed. I'm not going to have a bag forever, but I'm going to have it for like at least a year, I think, at least until October, November. And like I said, I'm not a terribly vain person. I don't like derive my value from, um, I don't know how to put it, from certain lifestyles, I guess, but I don't want to live like a monk for a fucking year, and that's kind of hard to deal with. I mean, I have game, but I don't have like that much game. I can't pull with a fucking ostomy bag. That takes some sort of genius that is not me. And that triggered like a major depressive episode, which is not great. Triggered a major depressive episode, obviously, because I'm like, I think like my facial structure was changing and my intestines are out of my body, and I apparently almost died, which is why they had to do the surgery in the first place, like so immediately, so hastily, that it triggered a major depressive episode. I had a lot of like suicidal thought on Lexapro now too. So then like even once I started feeling a little bit better, Lexapro was affecting my serotonin and my mood levels, and like especially affecting the way that I engaged with art. Like I went a good month and a half without watching anything, without watching like a movie or anything, you know. Because I couldn't really engage with it because I was numb for a little while. I'm still on it now, but I think now it's like working a little bit better or something. Um, but I feel like this is so rambly and incoherent, but it's difficult for me to be open about my health problems because I like to keep some stuff private. But I think that you guys should know, at least like for this next little amount of time. If I seem a little off or a little weird, I'm going through a lot. And like the worst thing about this health situation is that the health insurance business is a fucking nightmarish scam. I'm supposed to go through all these steps in order to get this reversed and get on like a certain kind of like medication regimen or something. But every door I go to gets slammed in my face. I've had to switch my insurance like 4 times in the last 2 months. This is absolutely insane. It's just so stressful and so crazy that so then I go out and drink and I do drugs, which I know like I shouldn't do, right? But that's the only way I can kind of cope or at least feel some sort of release because it's either do that or stay home and just feel sorry for myself. It's kind of like a vicious cycle, but that's my health problems. I'm trying to be optimistic about it, even though I genuinely don't think I have any reason to be optimistic about it. Like I'm incredibly lonely. I guess sex did mean quite a bit to me, and I'm not that's not like in the cards anymore. I don't even look for that. But hey, those are my health problems. I'm trying to be optimistic. This will get reversed. I'm just sick of it getting postponed and like pushed back. And eventually I'll get off Lexapro and probably be the same lovely, manic, very passionate and poetic reviewer that you've all come to know and love, hopefully. But yeah, those are my health problems. That's about as open as I can possibly be with it. I mean, yeah, that's about as open as I can be with my health. Uh, if it was incoherent, I'm sorry. I can't be any more specific than that. It's good seeing you. Jill Roberts is my girlfriend. I wish she was my girlfriend. She's Who's hotter though, Jill Roberts or Mickey Altieri? I mean, the answer is Jill Roberts, but Mickey was pretty hot too. Hey Kaiwan, next series I'm doing, I think I'm gonna take a break from series for a minute. The last one I entertained was Teen Wolf. Did 2 videos on that for the channel. I'm gonna take a break from series for a minute, return to my roots, some cinema, something easier. Like I do, my energy is getting better, but I do get exhausted a bit easier than I did before. And shows like 22 hours worth of shows times 6 or how many seasons there are, they take a lot out of me. Um, oh no, no big deal, no big deal. That I don't mind you asking something that's off topic. Uh, you want me to cover a series, and that's totally fine. There are series that I haven't covered within the teen genre that I know that I should. Um, Riverdale is probably the big elephant in the room, but I don't know if I'm brave enough yet. How are your intestines on the outside? Was your stomach cut open? Yeah, I mean, I'll show it again real quick. Squeamish alert. But that's my small intestines poking through. I have an ostomy bag right now. Yeah, my stomach was cut open because my intestines stopped digesting the food that I was putting inside of it. So they had to cut open my stomach and pull a little bit of my small intestine out. They didn't remove any of it. They're supposed to remove some of my small intestine when they reverse it or something. I don't know. I really hate it. I think it looks disgusting. So like um I feel very much like a horrific human being at the moment. Like I didn't think I was vain before I got this, and I didn't think that, you know, like right here, like yeah, sex means a lot to me, and then this thing kind of gets in the way of that. Because even if someone would like, I'm not saying that everyone's closed off to the idea of sleeping with someone with an ostomy bag, but I am saying that even if that were to happen, I would feel very anxious and I would feel very unattractive with it. You know what I mean? Like, I would feel extraordinarily unattractive, which takes a lot of the fun out of erotic situations, right? Seventh Heaven. So Barbara Hampton, is that her name? I covered The Secret Life of the American Teenager. Um, and I know she did that show. Seventh Heaven. I think her name's Barbara Hampton. Whatever, whoever was a showrunner for both of those series, that deserves some sort of analysis, some sort of fun analysis, like not too academic and not too silly. It needs something in the middle, which I suppose is what I do. It's just fuck. I know I'm gonna hate most of it. You know, everything that Jessica Biel isn't in, probably. But and her philosophy is insane. It's like insane Christian sensationalist stuff. It's wild, dude. But she's brilliant. People don't give her. She's brilliant, but she's like the Jerry Springer to me of teen television. Like she's brilliant and has earned her place. It's just, whew, she does some trashy stuff, man. Talking about the showrunner of Seventh Heaven, not Jessica Biel. I would never talk that way of our Lord and Goddess. Hope you don't get banned on here for doing that. Can I get banned on here for doing that? Can I get banned on here for doing that? I thought that, like, hold on. Can you not show that? Maybe I have to, like, mark this video in a certain way. Well, so long as none of you fucking... No, I think... I don't know. No, I'm totally fine. Totally fine. Like, give me 1 second. If I type in how to clean an ostomy bag onto YouTube, I can see directly in the thumbnails more grody than mine, or what I was showing. So you can totally do that. And if you can't, then that's fucked up. But right now I'm okay. It's just feel terrible a lot. It's crazy gnarly. So that makes her intestines breathe more, room to digest. Yeah, there was a blockage somewhere within the intestinal tract and a bunch of strictures or something. So there was a blockage, and I guess this is before the blockage, and it's giving the blockage time to like maybe heal, or maybe they're going to remove the part that has a blockage when they reverse it. I don't exactly know what they're going to do because communication has been basically non-existent. But yeah. But that's my health problem. So I figured I should be slightly transparent because I like to be vague. I'm also like embarrassed about it, so I don't want to like just at that point. I mean, I'm gonna have to live with it for like months and months and months. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit more open about it. But when I first opened up to you guys in that community post a couple months back, I think I was intentionally vague about how my body was changing, but I hate that. I hate it. It makes me hate myself. I fucking hate it. And like, I guess that's what the Lexapro's supposed to help with. But yeah. Let's do God, your cult boyfriend with the cheery streams, man. Yo, chat, how much do y'all hate yourselves? Let's do my 10 favorite movies right after I read this comment here. I've been involved with the protest. Is Columbia where you're from? Or is that like a school? What protest? I don't know what you're talking about. But I don't know. I think that's cool. Hey, you've been busy changing the world, I guess. Cool. So, top 10 favorite films. I should do a little bit of a preamble about like my feelings on favorite films. I am basically a movie whore. My heart is very fleeting when it comes to movies. I think that you guys could probably think of a dozen times where I've called a different movie my favorite movie ever. I'm very much so I'm very cavalier. I'm very I don't stick to a favorite movie very easily. But that I think that that should be the case. Right? I don't when I meet someone who's like my favorite movie has always been Star Wars and my favorite movie has always been Pulp Fiction since the first time I saw it. I'm like that's not a good sign. So it's been your favorite movie for like 20 years. That's not a good sign. That kind of is a sign of arrested development, like you're developmentally stuck within existential inertia or something. And that's not great. That's not great at all. I think that we change. We change. We're not static beings. We're dynamic becomings, and art can be that way too, to a large degree. Um, I think that we should grow older. Like we shouldn't stop loving the movies we used to love unless you feel like it. Unless you just feel like hating your favorite movie, like tomorrow. That's totally fine and valid too. It's just that as you grow, as you I don't I don't want to use the word mature, but like as you garner more life experiences, your favorite film should reflect that. Your favorite films, like your top 10, should reflect where you currently are at the moment, and like which philosophy, which psychology, which sexualities you are like most interested in engaging with at the time. And if your favorite films stay forever unchanged, that doesn't show to me loyalty or faithfulness. It shows to me that like a lack of growth, a complete lack of self growth. So I like that my favorite movies can change over time, or even just change jockey for position. It kind of shows where you're at mentally and emotionally. Um, so I'm sure a lot of you guys think you already know what my favorite films are, and you're gonna be kind of like, "Hey, I thought you said this one was your favorite." Well, I'm sure I fucking did say that one was my favorite, but today I'm feeling slightly differently. Um, so like I can do another one of these a year from now, and hopefully all of the positions will be changed, and there'll be some new additions put in too, or else I haven't grown at all philosophically, emotionally, sexually, or artistically. So yeah, that's my little preamble about how I don't know. You ever talk to like movie buffs and they're like, it's been my favorite movie ever since I first watched it when I was 5. And I'm like, shit, man, you didn't really do much since you were 5, huh? You identify with it just as much, bro. I don't know. I don't know. I'm talking shit at this point, but I think it's a valid point that I don't see brought up a lot. Your favorite movies should change a lot, you know. Or a movie could be like a song, so nostalgic. You hear a song and you're back at 14 having your first date or whatever. Like a film like should do that as well, but it shouldn't keep you within that emotional stasis. You should be able to grow from it. Anyways, honorable mentions. That's right. I don't even know like the numbers of the movies. I had to like write them. I had to write them on here so that I was doing it right. And I'll check in with the chat every so often. Um, yeah, but honorable mentions time. La Notte is a brilliant film. The everlasting Monica Vitti, and I think that it's Michelangelo Antonioni's greatest film. I love all the juxtapositions. I'm not going to go too long on each movie. In fact, I have a video about every single one of these movies except for one, and I'm going to change that very soon. If you're interested in my thoughts on these, I mostly stand by all of my old videos, mostly. But I have a video on La Notte. I love La Notte. Brilliant film. Great honorable mention. Then Playtime by Jacques Tati. Uh, words can't do this film justice. I'm in love with it. Another honorable mention that I don't own is A Room with a View. Love the film. And Lost in Translation. I don't own, but my God, I love it to death. And Pretty in Pink gets an honorable mention as well. I think it's the best thing that John Hughes was involved with. And then Cries and Whispers and Day for Night by Truffaut and Bergman, respectively, get the last honorable mentions. I don't know where I'm putting these. But yeah. What's going on, Zachary? I'm moving soon, and I'm also trying to convert to Judaism. Good luck. Good luck with that. I come from a Jewish background. How ironic is it the place I'm moving is also next door to a Jewish cemetery? Jewish cemeteries can be pretty beautiful. Make sure to take some pictures. Or you're a writer, take some inspiration from from what you see there. Judaism's interesting. It's interesting. I'm an atheist, but I think the secret is that most I don't want to get canceled. I'm an atheist. I still identify as Jewish, I guess, culturally. I think that most Jews are secretly atheists, though they're undercover atheists, and that's all I'm going to say. I love them. The philosophy is interesting. It's also, I think, pretty pessimistic. So it's no wonder why I turned into like an existential atheist. Why do I have to say controversial bullshit? True, it changes often. Also, it's hard to pick one favorite of all time. It's always 5, 10, 15 faves of all time. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like when I'm trying to get to know somebody at the bar, at the pub, or I mean anywhere, I'm not just an alcoholic. If movies get brought up, I'm like, what are your 3 favorite movies of all time? They don't have to be cool, just name them. But it's definitely hard to pick one favorite of all time. Definitely started to become a big believer in synchronicity lately. Okay, so you're into like when you say like converting to Judaism, are you converting to like Kabbalah, like Zohar, Jungian style shit? Because that's cooler. Let's be real. That's a lot cooler to get into. But hold on to your mental health and your sanity. Remember Pi? A lot of weird shit that's been popping up lately in my life. Well, if you find some sort of refuge in trying out a new kind of religion or belief system, go for it. But hold on to your mental health, because stuff like that can carry you away pretty quickly and with ease. Oh no, basic as fuck reform. Also, yeah, exactly. I'm also gay, so yeah, yeah. In Lakeland, there's not. I live in Central Florida in a town called Lakeland, just between Orlando and Tampa, and there's really no Jewish community to speak of. There are 2 options. One's like so reform, it might as well not be Jewish, and the other one's like Chabad, so it's like so orthodox that like women aren't allowed to pray with the men. So fuck them both, I guess. I don't know. Let's stop talking about Judaism for a second here, and let's move on to the top 10 favorite movie. Oh man. Okay. Number 10. We got Marcel Carney. Oh my god. Children of Paradise, which is a film that I just completely adore. Definitely number 10. If you don't know, like the briefest overview of it is that a mime, a criminal, an actor, and an aristocrat all fall in love with this seemingly unattainable woman played by Arletty. And it's just a gorgeous representation of love in cinema and France as well. I believe Truffaut said that like he wishes he could go back in time and like direct Children of Paradise, because this film's alive. This film is like so much love. When the mime is speaking with Arletty, and he's like, but it's not life I love, it's you. Like my heart swoons. Number 10 is Children of Paradise by Marcel Carney from 1945. Excellent film. Number 10 is Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. You know that Frank Capra has to be on this list. I've talked about Frank Capra a lot. I've talked about this film, and you can check out either my Frank Capra ranking, or I made a whole video about it. It's deeply moving. Jean Arthur is the true hero of this film. It's great. It's lovely. Frank Capra basically invented the concept of America, or a popular concept, shared popular concept of America with this film. And I think it's beautiful and lovely. Yeah. And it's the only time that I don't want to punch Jimmy Stewart in the face. So it's like pretty good. And Jean Arthur, extraordinary. The inner child of us all. I love it. I love it. Go through one more and then I'll check out the comments real quick. Number 8. This is The Umbrellas of Cherbourg by Jacques Demy, starring Catherine Deneuve, literal Earth angel. I love this film to death. I think this film is beautiful. And is it my... Yeah, I suppose it's my favorite film of the French New Wave, if you can count it as French New Wave. I personally do. I love this film to death. The Umbrellas of Cherbourg is beyond beautiful. Like I can't even comprehend the beauty and the mastery and the musicality, the lyricism of this film is perfect. Demi was a master. I love him so fucking much. It's crazy. How's Florida? Would you recommend living there? Um, well, I don't know. Florida gets a bad rap, but I think that's because we have like an extremely relaxed, you know, freedom of the press system. So like you get to hear about all of the crazy criminals here, but we're also like what, the third or fourth most populated state. So like of course there's gonna be some crazy people around here. There's some tempers. Florida's I wouldn't recommend living in Florida though, to be honest. It's getting cooler and cooler. You know, it's catching up, but like Florida still has another 10 years, I think, before it's ever going to be kind of cool to live here. There are certain pockets that have a cool culture, like Gainesville used to, um, uh, places around Casadega a little bit. Miami, I do love Miami. I think Miami's really cool, but I mean, yeah, it's pretty like dangerous too. I wouldn't recommend Florida. Everyone here is incredibly nihilistic, and I think kind of prone to violence. I think there is a little bit of truth to our overall reputation, but I would say no more than your basic Californian, probably. I wouldn't recommend moving to Florida though. I can't speak too highly of it or the people just yet, except that we have like a unified sense of doom. You know, like if you want that, come down here. And people are either doom and gloom or they're fire and brimstone. Just so you know, there's a podcast I mod that's going to be streaming in an hour from now. They live from Eustis, Florida. If you want to check them out, 13 o'clock podcast. Oh man, there's no 13 o'clock though, dude. You guys got to change the name. I don't want you guys to get embarrassed about that. There's only 12 clocks on the O. Oh no, I have to. I have a party to get to later. Pray for me though. It's a Jersey Shore themed birthday party. So, fuck. What am I gonna do? Hereditary, man. Not mine, Zach. Not mine. It's my favorite Ari Aster movie, though. I can say that. Thanks to your Frank Capra vid, I ended up watching Lost Horizon. It's such a good film. I love Lost Horizon, and that's like a surprising one from Capra. At least I feel it's a little surprising. That's the film where I can see like, okay, Spielberg did learn some stuff. Did learn some stuff. I can see stuff from that. But Lost Horizon is beautiful. Love that film to death. My opinion, Finland is basically the Florida of Europe. I think Florida is going to get way more popular once GTA 6 drop. Oh, it's set in Florida. Yeah. Well, some Floridians like to say that they're going to become like that, like Tampa is going to become the next Austin or Portland. And I'm like, dream on, guys. What the fuck you talking about? Get rid of some of like the meth houses and you might have a shot at still not even coming close. But I unironically love Jersey Shore too. It's just, will everyone there unironically love it? Jill Roberts is my girlfriend, or will they genuinely love it? Because I don't know if I can be around people genuinely DTF. You know what I'm saying? Yo, anyone watch Floribama Shore? Now that shit was insane. Let's do a few more movies. Number 7. Don't want to risk of seeming fucking pretentious, bros. No. The real art is here. Number 7 is House on Haunted Hill. I love this movie to death. Talked about it a lot. You see it every time I make a video in the corner there. I love Dark Castle films. I love what is called new metal, NU metal, as in, or I'm sorry, yeah, new horror. I guess I love new metal too. Why not? Let's make disastrous proclamations. This is what you call new horror, NU horror, the last vestige of truly postmodern horror films. And 1999, House on Haunted Hill was brilliant and perfect, and I still have so much to explore within this seemingly simple film. I love it to death. The best of the Dark Castle films, which truly dominated NU metal, new metal. Number 6, City Lights. Brilliant. The coolest thing about City Lights is that words can't do it justice, and that's exactly the point. So City Lights, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful masterpiece. So, and number 5 is, oh my god, the double life of Veronique Kieslowski. It's a deeply sensual film, deeply poetic film, a lot of rhyming imagery. I love how intimate the film feels, how kind of even metaphysical it feels. I love this film to death. It's visceral, it's tactile. You can touch it. It's a extraordinarily touchable film. It is intimate and beautiful and gorgeous, and perfectly marries contradictions, like it's metaphysical and it's also extraordinarily postmodern. I love this film to death, and it's one of the most beautiful films ever made, and it kicks off our top 5 with an absolute bang. Beautiful. And Irina Jacob, right? That's who plays her. It's so unreal. Unreal. I love this film, and I love a lot of the things that it says. So when I think of the late 90s, I think of the chick who played the journalist in that movie. She's like the epitome of that look. Yeah, Bridget Wilson? Bridget Wilson, yeah, from Billy Madison. Uh, she came, she saw, she conquered and disappeared, man. She's great in that movie. But that's one of the best postmodern beats, right? Is her big scene where she's carrying around that camcorder and she's filming everything, and she comes across that operating table, and when she puts the camera over this operating table, she can see the ghosts of Dr. Vanikit and his nurses like torturing and cutting open and dissecting this patient on the table, and when she removes it, it's just an empty table. So that's one of the coolest postmodern beats I've seen in a horror movie, where the audience needs to be involved for the horror to be at all witnessed, right? And it's the camcorder itself, it's media, it's video, it's metatextual. So it's like only when she puts the camera over the table that she sees it. And then out of nowhere, this kind of mascot of new NU horror comes up with that weird shaking face that you would see in like Marilyn Manson and Mudvayne music videos at the time, and screams at her. Like, it's pretty fucking cool and multi-layered. I don't know which movie you're talking about that you have to watch Moonlight Orange, but you should watch all of these if you haven't yet. They're all fantastic. Got to be open-minded, especially with House on Haunted Hill. A lot of people can watch that film and just think nothing of it, but there's so much meaning to most of it. You just have to work with it, like even from the very beginning. I'm not going into it here. I've done videos about it, so go watch House on Haunted Hill if you haven't, if you're talking about that one, and then watch my video about it. I did a group discussion and then a solo video. I recommend watching the solo video that I did, where my thoughts are a bit more, I think, just better, more sophisticated, I guess. All right, number 4, Cabaret. Bob Fosse, Liza Minnelli, and Joel Grey. It's my favorite musical. I think it's a deeply moving film. Sally Bowles, I kind of project every girl I ever fell in love with onto this cinematic character, I believe is truly legendary. I think it's a fabulously rebellious film about how fascism strangles colorful alternative communities to death, basically. I love this movie to death. Bob Fosse rules. The songs are beautiful, and yeah, it's perfect. It's a perfect film. All these are perfect films. I wouldn't change a thing. I know that. Number 3 is the only film that I've talked about so far that I haven't made a video about, but I have talked about it at least twice. But I never made a video about Amores Perros. It's number 3, and it means a lot to me. It's meant a lot to me for a while. When I first got into film criticism in a bigger way than just thinking that something is kind of good or kind of bad, was when in the mid to late 2000s, where we had a little bit of a Mexican new wave happening with filmmakers like Iñárritu and Alfonso Cuarón. Like you had some really good films coming out, and Amores Perros, I think, moved me so deeply. It's the logical endpoint of the structure and attitude of something like Pulp Fiction. It's possibly the last truly beautiful postmodern art film. I love Amores Perros. I think it's gorgeous, and I think that my next analysis video will be about this film. So I look forward to rewatching it soon, because I'm gonna rewatch it and engage with it and really try to provide some good insight about it. I think it's beyond beautiful and beyond touching. It's an extraordinarily affecting, effective, and intoxicating film to watch. Love it. So. I still think it's nuts Cabaret got the cinematography Oscar over The Godfather. Well, that might be nuts, but I don't think it's nuts that Cabaret won like Best Picture over The Godfather, and I don't think it's nuts that, you know, Joel Grey won Best Supporting over Robert Duvall. I think that's good. I think that's awesome. I think that's crazy. Joel Grey gives almost strictly a Broadway performance and completely steals the fucking show. And I don't think it's stupid that Liza Minnelli won as well, and she was entirely deserving. Probably not cinematography. You can't really beat Gordon Willis, right? you can't. But they all came back and won for part 2 anyway. Who cares? Fuck the Oscars anyway. But they was right about Cabaret being an overall much better film than The Godfather. They were right. Amores Perros makes everybody frowns, cry, and heart. It makes me do that too. God, I love it so much. And I think it's Gael Garcia Bernal's most touching and upsetting performance too. Oh, everyone was so fucking great in that. There's so many powerful moments. It's wild because you can see Iñárritu take lessons that he was learning from that he learned from like Tarantino and some of the like more postmodern films of the 90s, but then like he immediately shows that, like, a tutelage, a loyalty to like Rossellini, right? Because I get a lot of like kind of Rome Open City from it, you know. I get some Italian neorealism mixed in with postmodernism, and it's a marrying of contradictions thematically. I love that. I love Amores Perros. I think everything about it is fucking perfect. Love it. Yeah, number 3 favorite film of all time, and that's what my next video will be about. You weren't expecting the 5th choice? The fuck was my 5th choice? Oh, the Double Life of Veronique. It gets me. It gets me every time, man. It fucking thing works. Absolutely adore it. I got a video on it. You should check it out. I love that movie. Yeah, it's beautiful. Now we're at number 2, guys. Are we excited for number 2? The second greatest film of all time, according to Your Cult Boyfriend. This is the Your Cult Boyfriend canon. All the films that I have mentioned, even the honorable mentions, are like untouchables to me. Gold standards. Number 2 might surprise you because you might have thought it might have been number 1. But it's Scream. Scream is number 2, guys. I refuse to speak more about Scream. Scream is so good. But you can play a drinking game on my channel where I bring up Scream, you do a shot, and you'll become an alcoholic after a couple hours. Love Scream. Beautiful, beautiful film. Beautiful film. Literally cannot say anything more about Scream and Kevin Williamson and Nev Campbell than I already have. But you guys should know how much I adore that film. There we go. Jill Roberts is my girlfriend. Yes, Scream. Brilliant. Brilliant. You know what? It was number one for a while, but then, growth happens. They jockey for position, and, something else took over number one, but it's fine. Like, I'm not, Scream will likely always be in my top 10, and it will move around and move around just depending on where I'm at. God, I love it to death. There was a time when I think Scream and Scream 2 were both on my personal top 10. So I'm getting better. But it was number one for a long time. It's easy. If you ask me at a bar, right? If you ask me when I'm out and about, if I don't, it's easy to say that Scream is your favorite film rather than something that they most likely haven't heard of or engaged with. So it's a fun one to talk about with someone who might be a little bit more normie or something, and then you can just like spit some fun facts, some fun theories, say the word postmodernism, and get them a little bit more involved with cinema possibly. Yeah, Scream rules. Scream rules. It's unbelievable. Love it to death. So, number one. Okay. Right now, this makes more. This means more to me than any of the films we've talked about. More to me than Scream. More to me than Kevin Williamson's work. Number one, and I'm completely cheating. It's just posted a video on it the other day. It's the Doomed Bourgeois in Love trilogy. I love them all. I love them all. Okay, ever since I first watched them for the first time, right, like a year and a half ago, not a day has gone by where I haven't at least thought of it. Metropolitan or Barcelona or The Last Days of Disco. The one's always on my mind, and when I revisit them, they just get better and better and better and better and better. And I kind of love Whit Stillman, his depictions of youth cultures at the very end of their lifespans. And I love his portrayals of the bourgeoisie. I love Chris Eigman in every one of these films is literally me character in every one of these, especially within Metropolitan as Nick Smith. These are extraordinarily, to me, sophisticated films that have an awful lot to say and make you laugh quite a few times. And I think that they are each postmodern masterpieces that come together to form like the ultimate text on a deconstruction of youth culture through a satire of the bourgeoisie. I think these are entirely perfect films. In fact, I just rewatched The Last Days of Disco today before this stream. Better and better and better and better. It gets me to think about things so well. We can change our context, but we can't change ourselves. Same goes for film. Same goes for youth movement. Same goes for disco. Same goes for the debutante society and for American exceptionalism. The myth of it during the Cold War. I fucking love these movies so much. I might be the biggest defender and appreciator of the Doomed Bourgeois in Love trilogy, because I never see anyone else talking about them, at least not as much as, or with as much love as I do. So yes, that's it. Just a little bit of a refresher here. So number 10 was Children of Paradise. Number 9 was, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Number 8, The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. Number 7 was House on Haunted Hill. Number 6, City Lights. Number 5, The Double Life of Veronique. Number 4 is Cabaret. Number 3, Amores Perros. Number 2, Scream. And number 1 is the biggest cheat I've ever done. It's Metropolitan, Barcelona, and The Last Days of Disco. God, Kate Beckinsale's so cute. She's on the cover here, guys. Is that the brilliant criticism you come for? But those are the top 10s. Yeah. Yeah, number one is a Doom Bourgeois and Love trilogy. It's easiest to view them as an entire text because even in Last Days of Disco, characters from Metropolitan and Barcelona show up at the nightclub and start talking about shit. Uh, it if you watch them as a trilogy, it actually does feel flawlessly composed and crafted, and like provides a very elegant conversation, very elegant dialogue. Um, between the the pathetic bourgeoisie, or the pathetic elite class, and either the repression or the rebellion, and dissatisfaction and damnation of youth culture, and how doomed they all are. Something else I have to do very quickly is talk about this book, because I think I'm obligated to. I don't know if I'm obligated to. I don't fucking know how this works. Um, but I have to do that next. I also think you'd like. Oh, I missed something. I don't know if you're into gaming at all, dude, but you should play Alan Wake 2. It has a lot of thematic similarities to New Nightmare. Not a huge fan of New Nightmare, but I want to say I'm familiar with Alan Wake 1, and I want to say that I enjoyed it, but I can't say with any certainty. I also think you'd like a channel called Gaming University. He basically does what you do with film analysis, but for games. All right, I'll check him out. So he talks about games while being extraordinarily handsome and charismatic, because that's what I do with film. Drum roll. And I'm happy to let you all down by fucking talking about Whit Stillman. I'm happy to do that. Now, out of the three, which one do you like most? I like Metropolitan the most, the first one. But they coexist. I can't take it out of the overall dialogue or conversation. So Metropolitan's my favorite, and it's also a good place to start. And if you like Metropolitan, which you fucking better, or unsubscribe from my channel, if you like it, then definitely go on to watch Barcelona and The Last Days of Disco, and you'd be like, oh shit, that was a great cinematic dialogue, beautiful composition. It's like a perfect sonnet. It's beautiful. That's what the Doom Bourgeois and Love trilogy is. It's a perfect sonnet, a perfect cinematic sonnet. Oh, that's what he does? Cool. We'll get along fine. I've seen 3 of the films on your list. Oh, man. Well, they're all good. They're all good movies. Yeah, that's all. Well, now you have more movies to watch, right? You've seen 3, and now you can watch the other 7, because that's how math operates. I'm not on Twitter anymore. I'm on Instagram, though. Link to my Instagram's in the bio. I'm not on Twitter. After a while, I felt like I wasn't gaining anything from it but stress. So, I used to have fun on Twitter, I guess, but didn't for a while. And while I was struggling with my mental health, I definitely thought that Twitter wasn't the space for me, and so I deactivated it. And then Twitter deleted it after a month or 2 or something. So I just don't have a Twitter period now. But wasn't good for my mental health, which means I shouldn't do it at all then. Hello, how are you, your intrepid commentator? You're one of the Twitter people that I do miss, and I hope you're doing well. I mean, I'm not doing well, but like I'm doing better than I was a month ago. But just trying to hang in there, man. Trying to hang in there. We got some homework now. Yes, you do. And then you have fun thing, because I made a video about all of those except for Amores Perros. I have videos on every single one of them. So you can watch that, and then you can go and watch my video about it and be like, whew, thank you, your cult boyfriend, for showing me the greatest films ever made. But yeah. Yeah, go on. Anyone who hasn't added me on there, go and add me. It's like a private account, but like I'll approve of you. It's private because I had some stalkers on here that I don't feel like going into, but they were fucking mad crazy, dude. They were insane, and yeah, they would like find me on a bunch of bullshit. Twitter is stressful. It never stops feeding. No, it doesn't. And then you see like your friends or your contemporaries feeding into it, and then you see yourself feeding into the same exact kind of like circular bullshit of stress as well. And then you're like, oh no, I've lived long enough to see myself become a tweeter. And then you just gotta delete it. And all I'm not gonna be like Elon Musk's little fucking rent boy, dude. I'll be Mark Zuckerberg's instead. Go fucking follow me on Instagram, I guess. I have fucking no dignity. I also have a podcast you may like too. Unscripted Scripts Show. They do dramatic readings on unproduced screenplays while drunk. It's a riot. They read one of mine. Well, link me that one. I'll listen to the one where they read one of yours. Yeah. Sorry I got in late. Yeah, I had to stop interacting with a lot of stuff on Twitter. Luckily, I made some lovely friends there. I hope your health improves. Yeah, I made some lovely friends on Twitter too. I found some of them on Instagram, and on Instagram they seem to be a lot less confrontational because you can only communicate through images there. Which is it's truly the more cinematic social media site, right, guys? Don't tell me when you can show me. Let's do that. Go to Instagram, follow me. But thank you. I hope my health improves too, and it will. It will. I'm just it's just fuck the health insurance system entirely. That's all. I don't know. I hope my health improves as well. And I hope you've been doing well, all things considered. I always liked reading your comments here, and your tweets were never aggressive or stressful to read. So, like, you seem like a pretty good person. I'm not addictively watching a ton of movies I haven't seen before now, like I used 2 years ago. Yeah, well, I can't say. I go through like binging periods, right? Uh, like I won't watch like a new movie for like 6 months, and then within the span of a week, I'll watch like 15 new ones. So who knows? Who knows? I just hopefully never get to that stage. Like I'm at it with music. I refuse to be at it with film. Where like with music, I'm like, well, I know all the songs I like. I'm not gonna look for any new music or any new groups. I know every song I'll ever like. I'm never gonna be like that with film. I'm gonna hopefully keep seeking out new things that I hadn't watched before. Try to be more excited for new films, which will be a bit of a challenge for me. I'm gonna try to do that. But with music, I'm like, I'm very bad with music. I'm like, well, 16-year-old me fucking had it right. 30 fucking 4-year-old me can never be better than that. You need to check out Challengers if you haven't already. My favorite recent cinematic experience. Yeah, I mean, I saw trailers for it and stuff. Was that like, is that Lanthimos and Zendaya? It looks like I should watch it. It doesn't look terrible at all. I like it. So now, quickly, I have to talk about a book called New Millennium Boys, written by Alex Kazemi. Why do I have to talk about this book, you ask? Because, like, let's see, dude. When did this start happening? Well, because I was sent this book by the publisher. Like at first, I was like not gonna do it. They first reached out like in October, and I ignored the message entirely. Like the pitch was like, "Hey, read this book," um, because the author took a lot of inspiration from like Greg Araki or something, and I made that video about Nowhere that that got a good handful of views. So they're like, "You should read this book and talk about it," and then like. they the publicist or the publishers kept emailing me until like March of this year, and I was like really impressed by the dedication. Like, um, great publicist, really fun to deal with. And eventually, it was just like, I'll do it. Fine, I'll do it. Send me a copy, and then like within 6 hours, there was a copy at my door. And then I started taking Lexapro again the very next day and fell entirely out of touch with my emotions for a couple weeks, and didn't make a video on it uh, like maybe I was supposed to. I don't know. I think I was supposed to make a video about it, but I didn't because like mental health is terrible. Um, and this is not good. This is not a good read for your mental health, right? But I think I'm supposed to talk about it on stream because they did send me a copy. I haven't been paid to talk about it or anything, unless you consider being sent an advance copy of a book payment. But I'm pretty sure that's not what payment is. Also, I don't like it. I don't like the book. It probably would have been easier to make a video about it had I liked it. I really hate the writing style. I think the philosophy is just so mind-numbingly pessimistic that it just strikes me as entirely immature and machismo. Uh, do I think some of you will like it? Yes, I do. If you are like a fan, sure, of Greg Araki, but more importantly or significantly to the novel itself and to the text, it's a very dark text, very dark coming of age story about apparently how the 90s were fucking terrible, which I mean, I don't think they really were, but okay. Like not any more or less terrible than any other fucking youth movement or time to be a fucking kid. But anyway, if you're specifically a fan of like Harmony Korine and like Larry Clark, if you're a fan of films like Kids or Spring Breakers or Gummo or Nowhere the Doom Generation, then yeah, there's a chance that you will like this book a lot more than me. Um, if you haven't noticed with Harmony Korine, uh, I'm very like backhanded in my praise. I think that he makes, and that's what this is. I can provide the same criticism of Harmony Korine applies to New Millennium Boys, a a deeply moral tale, like a moral fable that is sloppily disguised as a celebration of nihilism. And also, there's like 500 references, pop culture references per page. No, it's nauseating to read, nauseating prose. But maybe you guys will like it, and I feel like I did what I was supposed to do. Be careful what you wish for, I guess. I don't recommend this book, but some of you who like the movie Kids or Gummo will really appreciate it. But no, not for me. But I had a great experience talking with the publicist or whatever. She was very cool. Just personally, oh, she probably did not have a good experience working with me at all. And I probably will never be asked again because I took like so long to do this. But whatever, we're done. I feel like I was supposed to do that. Like I think I have to talk about it or else I'm gonna get in trouble. So I talked about it. Meanwhile, I'm catching up on film watching. Coming to your channel made me open my mind more to view film different and not just surface level. Good. That's awesome to hear. I love that. Um, I especially like to cover films that people only tend to engage with on just the surface level and go, there's this whole nother layer here, bro. Like how come we're so focused on subtext when it comes to Double Life of Veronique, and then just act like House on Haunted Hill is just all text. You know, like we conveniently forget that subtext exists within everything, and that text and subtext are constantly battling with each other for supremacy over the project itself and the identity that it contains. Like, yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that my channel is helping you look at films a little bit differently. Oh, I just remembered. Sweet Charities on the Criterion channel. I haven't. So I don't think I have. I recommend watching it. That's one of my faves. You brought this up on the was it on the musical stream? It was because it was a Bob Fosse movie I hadn't seen. Yeah, I still haven't seen it. I'll make sure to check it out, though. You have good taste. Much love, Jane. What's up, dude? How you doing? Hey, so I can talk about a film very quickly. I've been enjoying Jane and her partner Elaine have been making an interesting video series called I Wish I Was a Camera, something like that. Um, Over time, it's going to turn into I think a 6-hour film. It's extraordinarily intimate and sometimes difficult to watch, but I think I think some of you who might be more into the avant-garde style of films, especially into the more intimate and emotional and maybe even politically prescient films, um, should check it out. It's on Elaine's channel, Elaine Fuentes. So Happy Stylist Substance is moving into filmmaking, something I've never wanted to do in my life. So all the more power to her. I'm drunk, LOL. I'm probably gonna be drunk in like an hour and a half myself. I wish I were a camera. I was close. Close. Very close, actually. But yeah. People should check that out. But this wasn't going to be a very long live stream. I guess I just wanted to be a bit more open, a bit more specific, and less vague about where I stand with my health, both mentally and physically. And also wanted to talk about some of the best movies ever made, which are my 10 favorite movies. Like I said, I have a video on all of them except for one. So definitely go check that stuff out. And I don't mean to sound too pessimistic. It's just, it's difficult to be optimistic when you're kind of being exploited at every turn by a giant machine that doesn't even know your name. So like, I think I'm going to get better. Or I know I'm going to get better. It's just, it's by a timetable that I can't comprehend. It's by, like, it's according to a schedule that I am not privy to. Like I haven't been allowed to see it. So I have no idea when I'm going to get better. It was supposed to be October. Everything was supposed to fall into place. My surgery is supposed to get reversed, but now I have no clue. No clue. I'm still aiming for October, November. It's just the longer that I exist like this, the more hopeless you end up feeling, the more doors get slammed. It's natural. So if I sound pessimistic, it's only for right now, because hopefully this time next year, at the latest, everything will be reversed and I'm okay. And the way I'm feeling right now will be a distant memory. You know, that's all. But yeah, I'm gonna do more live streams probably than videos because they're easier for me to do. They don't exhaust me as much. I don't know why. They're easier to do. Well, you guys help me a lot with these live streams. You guys keep me involved and keep the energy maintained throughout. So I am a realist. Yeah, I don't want to give you guys a load of be like, yeah, everything's getting better. No need to worry. Let's be really optimistic and fucking have a great time talking about the moopies. No, I'm extraordinarily depressed about my current health situation, and progress doesn't look like it's being made. And the only way that I cope with that stress is making my health condition worse. But like I said, the alternative is having no release and just staying at home with self-destructive ideations. It'll all change once I start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here. It's just fucking power has been out. You know what I mean? That's all. It'll change soon. Hope all goes well. Miss talking to you. I miss talking to you too, Jane. We'll start talking more frequently soon. I was talking at the beginning of the stream, like for a little while, I was just completely out of touch with my emotions because of antidepressants and kind of the other medications I was taking. So kind of pieced out from from talking to a lot of people. Yeah, my toxic trait is that I distance myself when things aren't going well and like isolate, um, which just makes everything worse. But I'd like to talk to you, see where your head's been recently. But with that, I feel like we're gonna cut this off. I have to go to a like I said, a party, um, and be happy and be fun, whatever. Um, put on a happy face. No, I do have a decent support system in real life. Everyone I've told in real life, I think are extraordinarily kind and understanding about it. I'm the least understanding person about my current situation. I think I'm hypercritical of it, and I think that I feel gross and unattractive. I'm the least understanding of it, and if I can't get that to change, then I'm fucked for the next year. But thank you guys so much for coming to this stream. And I'm working on changing that. It's just difficult to rewire your brain. But thank you for coming to this stream. You guys have really made this special and fun. I think within a week, I'll have another live stream. So I don't know what the topic will be. If you guys have an idea for a topic, drop it in the comments. Um, but I'll be back in a week to talk about stuff. And I do mean, I don't know if it'll be done within a week, but I'm gonna rewatch Amores Perros and analyze it. Uh, that'll be the next proper video, but I don't know when I'll actually have a proper video out for you. But that's the next one I'm gonna be looking at. So if you want to watch one of these movies that you haven't seen before, and Amores Perros might be one of them, watch that one because I'm gonna have a video on that. Relatively soon. But before that, you'll see another live stream, and I hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much for coming out. Have a good one, Moonlight Orange.